Coming up on this episode of Design to the Nines, I show you how to DIY a whole lot of Valentine's decor for less than 40 bucks, so stay tuned. With designtotheniines.com, where if it has to do with the home, you're gonna find it here. If you like to learn about design, DIY, real estate, and all things home related, you're gonna want to subscribe to my channel below and hit the notification button, because I post weekly tutorials that you're just not going to want to miss. I don't know about you, but I always have a million design DIY projects going on, and so when it comes to holidays other than Christmas, I have a really hard time wanting to spend any amount of money on decorating items for those special holidays. So because I want to put it towards my bigger projects, but this week I have 5 really fun, inexpensive Valentine's Day design projects for us that are easy, that won't cost us a lot of money, and we are going to do it ourselves. And you're going to want to stay tuned to the very end, because I have some really cute printables, and I'll tell you where to get them at the very end. In my first project, you're going to think I'm a little crazy, okay? So I have a shamrock here. And I know you're probably thinking, Natalie, I thought we were doing Valentine's Day projects. That's a shamrock. That's St. Patrick's Day. Well, I had an idea to make some heart-shaped topiaries, and I wanted them in either like a boxwood or covered in moss or something. I just thought that would be really cute to have heart-shaped topiaries to go on, you know, in my decor. And so I came across this shamrock at Michael's, and I'm like, that kind of looks like 4 hearts. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna paint up some terracotta pots. Okay, so I'm gonna put on some latex gloves to protect my amazing manicure. Just kidding, I don't even have a manicure. I don't even know why I'm putting these on. Well, I do, I just wanna keep my hands nice and clean, especially since I'm gonna be touching all kinds of paint stuff. You don't want to transfer the stuff everywhere. And I'm going to start painting them inside a little bit, because part of the top of the inside is going to be exposed. So I'm just going to paint on the inside first. And we're probably going to need to do a couple coats, because this terracotta will really suck up the paint. And I am using Pink Rose by Craft Smart. Now, if you wanted, you could do kind of like a whitewash. That would look really cute. You know, just a little whitewash on it to give it kind of like an old aged effect to it. But I just kind of thought I'd bring out a little Valentine's pink. So while we've got these pots drying on their first coat, I'm going to go ahead and stain these dowels with our watered down burnt umber. So we're just going to slap it on there. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it can be a little uneven, and that would be fine. We've got a paper towel, and I'm just going to wipe some of the excess off, and I might put on a couple of layers until it gives a nice little, you know, mottled effect. And it doesn't matter that I'm touching it, because it adds to the character of it. Okay, so now while those are drying, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the shamrock. When I saw this shamrock, I noticed that for the most part it's separated, and the only place that it's connected is right here in the center. So I figure if we take some wire cutters, we can clip in a couple of strategic spots on the bottom, and then I will have 4 separate things that we can use as our heart. And we're just gonna try to bend that into a heart shape a little more prominent than it is right now. So we'll keep working on that until it looks good. But there's our first heart. Okay, so we've got these 4 apart. So what I'm gonna do is we'll shape them, and then we'll mash them together like this. So there's a front and a back. and we'll put the dowel inside. That's kind of making a mess, so I'll push that away for now. Moss, always working with moss is such a mess. I put 2 coats of the pink paint on it, and then I did 3 coats of this Craft Smart glitter paint in the matching pink rose of the original color. So I got these pieces of foam at the dollar store. So what I'm gonna do is on the inside here, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue to support it, and then we're gonna push that down in there. Nice and tight. Now we're gonna take our dowels that we've kind of aged, and what I wanna do is I'm gonna shove it, first of all, I'm gonna find center, and then I'm gonna shove it straight down all the way. For a little added stability, a little bit of glue around the base. I just covered up the foam with leftover moss from a Christmas project. So look how cute it's gonna be. I love it. Okay, so what I've done here in the back, as you can see, I've wired it here and here, and I've got it really, really quite tight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue in here to just double secure it. Then I'm gonna put on the back, like so. What we're gonna have to do to make sure it stays on good is wire it together. So I'm gonna get some wire and just a short piece of wire, and we are going to wire it together. So this is green wire and this is green, so I'm hoping that it will hide it well and twist it into place till it's nice and secure. And then what we're gonna do once we've got it nice and secure is we're gonna kind of cut off some of this excess, and then we're gonna tuck that and we're gonna hide it. I had a little bit of grapevine left over from the stem of the shamrock, if you remember. So what I think I'm gonna do to kind of finish this out is wrap it around. So I am going to put a little bit of glue on the top of these branches here. Oh, it's probably gonna make a mess, but we can clean that up later. And I'm just gonna shove this up in here where you can't see it very well. And then, so that'll be glued in on that end. And then we are just gonna very gently wrap it around the dowel. And so cute. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna add some more hot glue. And then I'm gonna hold it in place while it dries. I just think that this grapevine just finishes it out a little bit. And then we are done, yay! So super cute, I love it. So unfortunately, I had technical difficulties with my sound again. It's really too bad because I start out explaining how I came up with the quotes for the free printables, which I'm offering to you. These were both inspired by the Valentines in my life. The first one is my kiddos who could not remember the word Valentines, but they did remember that it was Whole Day of Love, and that's just what they have always called it. The other quote was inspired by my sweetheart, my Valentine, my husband, and it was the last line of a poem he wrote me and gave to me on our first Valentine's Day together. He'd probably die if he knew I shared this with you guys. But it's a really sweet quote that means a lot to me. So the project itself is fairly simple. I start out by cutting the printable in half and trimming off the edges. I cut a foam core board to about 7 by 10 inches and created a stand width by just using a corner of the foam core board on about a 75-degree angle, which would help it to tilt back a little bit. And I just eyeballed this. I hot glued burlap to cover the board, and then I added a piece of twine about 1 inch from the top and hung the printable on the twine with a mini clothespin. It's a super easy project and so cute, and it's hardly any money at all. This project is probably the easiest of them all. I picked up a tray on sale from Michael's and 6 packages of these adorable pink rose tea lights from Dollar Tree. They come 2 to a package. And so they lined up with the edge of the tray. I just stacked a couple of pieces of foam core in the tray and set the roses in. It was really as easy as that. Okay, so we're getting close to being done with our projects. This one is super easy. So all I did is get 4 of these frames from the Dollar Tree. They already had a nice little white mat, and I thought they looked pretty good for $1. And what I've done is one of my free printables that I'll tell you where you can get at the end. I've cut out into to fit inside these frames. So I've already put 3 of them in. So we'll just put the last one in. Just pop it right into place. That's so easy and very inexpensive. I'm going to hang it off of ribbons. So all we're going to do is, it has a little hook on the back here. We're going to thread the ribbon through that hook. Since it's kind of heavy, I'm going to use a push pin, and I'm going to push pin it in right above the mirror so you can't see the push pin, but it will be sturdy and in the wall. So this ribbon kind of matches everything else that's going on. It's kind of that salmony pink glitter, so it's super cute. That's it. It's easy as that. So my last project is super easy as well. All I have done is taken 2 different kinds of scrapbook paper and 2 different sizes of hearts and cut them out kind of small. So we've got like one that's a little bit bigger but still small in size, and then a little tiny heart. And all I used for those was cookie cutters. I traced them out on the back side of the paper and then cut them out. To make this really easy, they do have really cool heart punches that you can buy to punch them out if you're doing like a lot of them. But since I was only doing a few of them, I decided to just trace them with some cookie cutters that I had. I had some gold and white twine that would look really pretty with this, but since I've got some rustic elements, I kind of like that rustic meets glitzy look that I've got going already. So I'm going to be using some actual twine. And I've got my measuring tape here because every 3.5 inches we're going to tie one on. So we're going to just thread this through the hole and leave about 10 inches of excess. And we're going to do a simple slip knot on it to hold it in place. So we'll keep doing this all the way down till we have all the hearts on, and that's it. Super easy. All right, we're finished with our garland, and now it's time to put everything together. You'll notice that there is not much of a height difference between this topiary and this lamp, so we're going to solve that. And what I have done is I have taken some books and just made a cover for them out of some wrapping paper that I got at the dollar store, and we will lift up the lamp with these books. And that will give us the height, and it will also give us a little bit more of that color. It's looking cute so far. I'm loving this. Now we're going to hang our pictures and garland. I wanted to leave you with a few pointers though, especially with regards to like the heart-shaped topiaries. I recognize that not everybody has Michael's near them, or might not have access to that shamrock that I used to make that. So how I was originally going to do that was I was going to cut a heart out of foam core and kind of layer it around the dowel and then cover it in moss. And so you could do something similar to that. I've also seen styrofoam hearts before. You could order one of those offline and maybe use some boxwood or moss or whatever you'd like to do to get that look. So there are ways to kind of get this same look and using different products. So in case you don't have that shamrock that just seemed to work out so perfectly, then you have options as well as that. So, and then I wanted to let you know about these heart roses, or these roses, but they light up and they look so awesome at nighttime. So I just wanted to let you know that. They also come in white, but you could use them like at a dinner party at nighttime, and it's just so easy, such an easy project, and so cute and so much fun. And one more thing, as I promised from the beginning, I'd let you know where to get those free printables. They are on my website, and so I will put the link below, and they are free. So feel free to download them and print them out and do the project. So that will save you some money there. What do you think? What was your favorite project? What are you gonna do? Let me know in the comment section below. And make sure you follow me on all the major social media websites, because I've got a lot more from where this came from. We've got a lot of projects coming your way, and I post tutorials every week. So if you like things like this, DIY, design, real estate, home, all things relating to the home, then you're going to want to subscribe to my channel below. Make sure the notifications are turned on, and we will see you next week because I've got more stuff coming. So thanks so much for watching.